Create a robot that will open against the direction of the next to last candle, if the last candle was a doji. To create the robot, click Create a new robot. In the window that opens, enter a name for the robot and click Create. You can see that the designer already has two starting blocks, on candle and on tick. This strategy is based on candles, so we'll use the on candle block. However, the on candle block only gets information about the last candle, while we need the last two. Go to Tools, Information, and find the Candlestick Data block. Then drag it to the designer. In the parameters, set the candle period to work with. Let's set 30 seconds and make this a global parameter. We'll use the Transform block, which lets you get specific data from complex structures to get information about the last two candles. To do this, connect this block to the Candle Info block. In the parameters, enter comma-separated numbers of the desired candles, the first one and the second one. Now use two more transform blocks to get information about the closing price and opening price from these candles. Establish connections between the blocks, open the settings, and select the desired values in the drop-down list, the opening price and closing price. Now, use an if block to check whether the last candle was a doji and what color the next to last candle was, bull or bear, so red or green. In the if block, compare the value of the closing price and the opening price for our candles. Add if blocks. Click the button for comparing the two input values and set connections between the blocks. If the candle was a doji, its opening price should be equal to its closing price. So in this case, the information goes to an equal connector in the if block. In the same way, if the closing price is more or less than the opening price, the information goes to the less than and greater than signs. Now add two blocks for checking the data. The block is called Data Validation. In our case, it will give us data only if two conditions are met at once. The last candle was a doji, the next to last candle was a bull or bear. Set the connections. The last candle was a doji, and the next to last was a bear. And the same for the second block. Only the next to last candle was a bull. Now add a block that generates a signal. It's called Create a Signal. If the last candle was a doji and the next to last was a bear, we make a call signal. Similarly, if the last candle was a doji and the next to last candle was a bull, we make a put signal. Now add the Filter EMA Up and Filter EMA Down blocks. These blocks allow the signal to be passed on only if the EMA indicator was rising for an upward signal or falling for a downward signal. Let's set the indicator period to 20. These blocks are located in Strategies, Filters, and called Upward EMA and Downward EMA. In the parameters, set a value of 20. Then, use the Union blocks to combine the signals into a single branch. The block is located under Tools, Logical, and it's called Data Integration. Next, you need a block that checks the profit percentage for the asset and only allows data to pass further if this percentage is higher than the value specified in the block. This block is located under Strategies, Filters, and it's called Minimum Profit Percentage. In our case, the profit percentage for the asset that the robot is trading must be higher than 80%. Since the robot will be using the martingale strategy, add this block to the designer and set the value to 5 in the parameters. This number defines how much the profit percentage for a new transaction will cover previous losses, and add the open trade block at the end. This is the one that sends the request to complete a transaction. In other words, without this block, the robot can't trade, so it will only generate signals according to the principle described earlier. Save your work and test it on historical data.